Hello students, this is Ujjwala Bhandiwad, lecturer from KLS Gokte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belagavi. Today, we are going to begin with our new chapter, chapter number 5, that is Problem Solving Methodology. Today, almost all fields of the human life are computerized. Some of the major areas are scientific and engineering, education, commerce, etc. Scientific and engineering problems are mathematical oriented. Commercial problems deals with record keeping, accounting and so on. Whatever the kind of problem, the problem solving using the computer needs to follow the step-by-step methodology to arrive at an efficient solution. Okay. The problem solving process includes following steps. First step is problem definition. Here, to solve any real life problem, first we have to define the problem. Okay. So to do this, we have to ask certain questions like what the computer program does, what will be the output of that program, how does the program interact with the user, etc. Okay. Our objective here is to focus on the root of the problem. Okay. Second step is problem analysis. It involves identifying the input, desired result, etc. Okay. Third step is algorithm development. Fourth step is flowchart development. These steps we are going to learn in detail in this chapter. Okay. Fifth step is coding. Here, whatever solution we have developed, we will be converting that into the set of instructions or a program, that is, it is converted into the computer language. Okay. Then once we write any program, it has to be tested for its correctness. Okay. Simply correctness is not required. Once we have to find out any mistake, then we have to rectify those mistakes, and that procedure is nothing but our testing and debugging. Then after it undergoes all these steps, then finally we arrive at the conclusion and we maintain that record, and that is nothing but documentation and maintenance. So students, whatever problem we may have, in reality we follow these 7 steps to solve any particular problem. Okay. So in today's class, we will be focusing about the third step, that is algorithm development. Okay. So first let me define what is an algorithm. 1 mark question it is. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve any problem. Okay. So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve any problem. So once the problem is given to us, first we have to think what is the problem. We have to define that problem. Then we have to think about what are our required input is what. Once we understand the requirement, then we will solve that problem, and finally we say we obtained the final result. Okay. So to show you all these things, let us consider one example, that is, write an algorithm to find sum of the two numbers. See, it is very simple to find the sum of two numbers, but we have to write the algorithm. Okay, so how it will begin? You can see here. First, we have to give the heading as algorithm. Then we have defined the algorithm as it is a step-by-step procedure. Am I right? So hence write down step number 1. It begins with the word start. Then step number 2. As I have told, understand what are the requirements to solve any problem. Here the problem is to find the sum of two numbers. Hence requirement is we require any two numbers. We don't know which two numbers are they. So we have taken them as x and y. So I have written read x and y. What do you mean by read? Read means these are the input values. Means we require these values to find the sum of two numbers. We don't know, they are unknown numbers, hence we have taken it as x and y. Once we understand the requirement, step number 3 is we have to solve the problem. Okay, so I have taken here one more variable, s is equal to x plus y. Okay, once we find the sum, okay, then we have to display the result, where the result is stored. You can see here in the step 3, s is equal to x plus y. Result is right hand side and it is stored in the left hand side, which is the variable here is s. S indicates the sum. So step number 4 is display the value of s. So we are displaying the value of s in the step number 4, and finally step number 5 we will be stop. So understand students, whenever we write the algorithm, we must follow these steps. We have to give the heading, then we have to begin with the steps, then we should start, we should stop in between, we have to understand the input, then we have to calculate, then we have to display the result. All these steps should be followed to write any algorithm. Okay, this is our first example. Now let me show you with the second example. To understand the second example, it is algorithm to calculate the simple interest. Okay, it begins with again step number 1, start. Step number 2, to find the simple interest, what are things we require? We require PTR values. What are these PTR values? P stands for principal amount, T stands for time period, and R stands for rate of interest. P, T and R. These three values we require to find the simple interest. Once we input these values, then in the step 3, we will write the formula, that is SI is equal to P into T into R upon 100. This is the formula. See here students how we have written the into. Here in computer science, into, that is multiplication symbol is this star. Star we will not say, we say it as asterisk. Okay. So SI is equal to P into T into R upon 100. Once we calculate, then we will, in the step 4, we will display the SI value. SI is, see, here right hand side we will calculate and the value will be stored in SI, hence we will display the value of SI. Then finally in the step 5 we say it as stop. So in this way we can calculate the simple interest. So you have to write the algorithm in this way. Next example is area and circumference of the circle. Students, once they give you the problem, you should know first what formula you have to use For that purpose, you have to take the different problems and you have to solve independently. All these examples which I have covered here are important from annual exam point of view. They will be asked for 5 marks. Okay. So first thing is, step number 1 is to start. Second step, see area of the circle. What is the formula for area of the circle? You can see it is pi r square. See, always remember students, pi r squares. Here value of pi is how much? 22 upon 7 or 3.142. Both values are equal. Okay. R square we can write it as r into r. See, remember in the formula that always we should only input which is not constant value. Here value of pi is constant, it will not change at all. So we should not input such value, we should not read such value. Which value we should read? The values which will keep on changing, we have to read them. See, r value, suppose I enter the value as 2, it will show me the answer. I can take the value of r as 4.2, then also I can calculate. The value of r is not fixed. Are you understanding? It is a variable. Variable means whose value will keep on changing. It is not fixed. So we have to read only the changing values. We should not read the fixed values. So in step 2 we have read only r value. R stands for radius. Then in step 3 we are calculating area is equal to 3.142 into r. We cannot write r square directly. In computer, while calculating, we cannot write directly r square. Hence we have to write r into r. Then step 4, circumference. Formula is 2 pi r. You can see here 2 into pi value into r. Here again 2 is constant, so I cannot read it. Pi value is constant, I cannot read it. And only remains which one? R. Hence in the step 2, I have written read r value. R stands for radius. Okay. Then step 5 is display the value of area and circumference. See here students, I have calculated two values, area as well as circum. So I have to display area and circum. Then finally I will say step 6 as stop. Okay. So in this way students, you can, how many problems you will solve, you will become more perfect in writing the algorithms. Okay. One more example I will be taking, that is factorial of a number. See, for that purpose step number 1 is start. Then in step 2 we are saying read the value of n. N is any number. We have to find the factorial value. Any number, unknown number it is, so hence I have read n. Then here I have taken one variable fact and I have assumed its value is beginning with the 1. See here I have used one word, for. This is actually indicates in C++ that we are beginning with the loop. Loop means some instructions will be repeated again and again. In such situation, we will be calling it as a loop. And in that case, we should use such word, that is for. Here I is one variable. I is equal to 1 to n. Means what? I have to repeat the instructions starting from value 1 to up to which number? N number. Then fact is equal to what instruction I have to repeat? Fact is equal to fact into I. This is the operation actually I want to repeat. How many times? N number of times. Hence, fact is equal to fact into I is repeated n number of times. Hence, I am using a loop. Then finally, I will display the value of fact and say in the 6th step, that is stop. So, in this way, student, we can calculate factorial of a number. So all these problems which I have solved here with the help of algorithms are asked for 5 marks important. So please go through them thoroughly. So students, in today's class we have completed the problem solving methodology. In that chapter, algorithm concept we have completed. Again in the next class, we will be dealing with the flowchart and how to draw the flowchart to solve any problem. Okay. So again we will be continuing in the next class. Thank you students.